I really shifted gears from thinking in terms of me being a balanced person, from that to noticing that balance has to do with the way in which God has ordered the universe. So balance is not my responsibility. Balance is something that God created. And it's my job to notice the balance that exists that God put in place. And it's my responsibility to get into proper rhythms with that.
Wow.
And so instead of seeing my life as a balancing act, I now see my life in terms of, like you said, seasons, but it's like, what's the rhythm? Like, is there a rhythm to the year? Like, is there a rhythm to the quarter? Is there a rhythm to the month? Is there a rhythm to the week? Is there a rhythm to the day? And so I'm just kind of looking out. If I'm planning anything, if I'm looking ahead to anything, I'm asking the question, like, all right, what's the beat here? Like, what's the rhythm here? How do I get in step with the current that's at work in this day, in this week, in this month, in this year? And then I find myself, like, I'm not resisting at that point. I'm talking about it becomes more of a flow, but I've got to see who's in charge of balance. And it's the Lord, not me.
Wow.
Like, I'm not the balance guy. God's the balance guy. And so it's my job to be in step with his order of creation. And the Jewish people did this the best. I mean, it's like, it's all there. Like, this is not new knowledge. Like, these people oriented themselves on the balance of God. And they oriented themselves. You know, we see that God in the Old Testament established all of these things and delivered all these things through the celebrations and the festivals. But it's in creation. I mean, it's the creation story. It's the in the beginning whole thing. It's like, and on the last day God rested. It's this beautiful image of, like, God's the one that established balance in the earth, in creation, in the universe, and it's our job to orient towards that. And anywhere we feel like, God, I can't get my life in order, I feel so out of balance, I'm like I think maybe your potential, I'm not saying this is everybody's situation, but like, if you're a pretty, like, proficient person and you can normally figure things out, but you're really struggling in this area, it's like, man, what if balance is not up to you to figure out? What if it's your job to notice balance and your job to get in step with the balance that exists? And I'm like, bro, that's it. And so we've just done small things and we're not great at it. I see people who have beautiful displays of the way that they rest, and I'm like, I'm probably not going to broadcast the way I rest. But I'm not oriented that way. Maybe someone someday will like run my social media for me, and like they'll take pictures of our Sabbath. But like, for me, we've got a regular routine of shutting down as a family, like shutting down our outside life. It's like, no, we're going to do whatever we can do to protect a regular routine of noticing how God designed us and notice the balance that he created for us to enter into if we're willing. And so once a week, usually on Friday, it's like there's no expectation of what we can do. It's just kind of an exploration of who we are. And if you want to call that Sabbath, that's the biblical imagery there, the biblical picture. But it's just our job, and we're trying, and life's busy. Like kids, like the older your kids get, it doesn't get less busy. There's requirements, there's things that you could do, there's things that you could pay attention to and prioritize. But man, I think God created us for a regular routine and rhythm of rest, but it's so that we can be highly productive as well. So I think when we orient our hearts towards this idea of noticing the balance he created in the universe and on the earth and in creation, and creating life rhythms that are taking cues from that, I think that's where you start to figure out this, like, how to do life thing.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, be sure to check out some of our other stuff on this page, or check out our podcast on Apple and Spotify. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. See you there.